Hey everyone! Today, we're starting an all-new Naruto What If series with unexpected twists, alternate timelines, and a story you've never seen before. Before we begin, drop a like, subscribe, and comment your predictions below. Now, let's jump straight into the story, which is Naruto and Tsunade, last survivors of the apocalypse. The morning sun rose over Konoha. For a brief moment, everything seemed normal. Birds sang. Merchants opened their shops. Children laughed in the streets. Then the screaming started. Ah! Naruto Uzumaki froze halfway through eating ramen. What was that? Another scream echoed through the village. Help! Somebody help! The ground shook. People began running. Panicked civilians flooded the streets. Naruto jumped to the rooftop. His blue eyes widened. A shinobi was attacking villagers. But something was wrong. The man's skin was gray. His eyes were blood red. Blood covered his mouth. And he was biting people. What the hell? A terrified Chunin shouted. Naruto! Don't let it bite you. The infected ninja lunged. Naruto dodged instantly. Shadow clone jutsu. Poof. 20 clones appeared. The infected ninja growled. Grr. Then charged. Get him. Naruto's clones swarmed him. Seconds later the infected was restrained. But behind them, more screams. Many more. Ah! Run! They're everywhere. Naruto's stomach dropped. The infection was spreading. Fast. Very fast. An emergency meeting began. Tsunade slammed both hands onto the desk. What are the casualty reports? Shizune looked pale. It's spreading through the entire village. Everyone fell silent. Naruto frowned. Do we know what it is? No. Tsunade's voice was grim. But whatever this disease is. She looked toward the window. It turns people into monsters. Another Anbu appeared. Hokage-sama. What is it? The infected are immune to pain. The room went silent. Naruto exchanged a glance with Tsunade. Neither liked what they were hearing. Hours later. The village was chaos. Buildings burned. Explosions echoed through the streets. Naruto and Tsunade fought side by side. A massive horde approached. Hundreds. Maybe thousands. Tsunade cracked her knuckles. You ready, brat? Naruto smirked. When am I not? The zombies charged. Raahhhhhh. Tsunade punched the ground. Boom. The earth shattered. Dozens of infected flew into the air. Naruto formed a Rasengan. Blue chakra erupted. Crash. Another group disappeared. But something strange happened. An infected ninja bit Tsunade's arm. Naruto's heart stopped. Tsunade. He rushed toward her. But she simply looked down. Nothing happened. No infection. No mutation. The wound healed immediately. Tsunade narrowed her eyes. Interesting. Naruto blinked. You're not infected. No. She looked thoughtful. Neither are you. Naruto stared. What? The nine tails. Tsunade's eyes widened. The fox's chakra is resisting the infection. A possibility formed. Maybe. Just maybe. They were the only immune survivors. Night fell over Konoha. Fires illuminated the darkness. The village they loved was dying. Naruto sat silently on a rooftop. For the first time in years. He looked afraid. Footsteps approached. Tsunade. She sat beside him. Neither spoke for several minutes. Below them came distant screams. Far away. Terrifying. Never ending. Naruto finally broke the silence. Do you think we can save everyone? Tsunade looked at the burning village. Her answer took a long time. I don't know. The honesty surprised him. Tsunade wasn't someone who admitted uncertainty. Naruto smiled sadly. That's scary. Yeah. For a moment they simply watched the flames. Then Tsunade placed a hand on his shoulder. A rare gesture. Gentle. Comforting. We're still here. Naruto looked at her. We are. And as long as we're breathing. Tsunade's eyes hardened. We keep fighting. Naruto's fear slowly faded. A determined grin returned. Yeah. The future was uncertain. The infection was spreading. The dead were rising. And somewhere in the darkness. Something far stronger than ordinary zombies had awakened. Watching. Waiting. Smiling. The night felt wrong. Too quiet. Naruto stood atop the Hokage monument, scanning the burning village below. Smoke twisted through the air like black snakes. Far away, a scream pierced the darkness. Ah! Then another. And another. Naruto clenched his fists. They're still spreading. Behind him, Tsunade appeared carrying medical reports. Her expression was grim. Naruto. He turned. What did you find? Tsunade handed him several blood samples. Every infected person shows the same mutation. Naruto stared at the papers. I can't read any of this. Tsunade rolled her eyes. I know. Then why show me? Because it makes me feel like I'm doing something important. Despite everything, Naruto laughed. For a second, the world felt normal again. Suddenly Shizune rushed onto the rooftop. Hokage-sama. Tsunade immediately stood. What happened? We found another immune survivor. Naruto's eyes widened. What? Shizune shook her head. No, not exactly. Minutes later they arrived at the hospital. Inside a reinforced room sat an infected shinobi. But unlike the others, it wasn't attacking anyone. It was speaking. Slowly. Painfully. Like it was fighting the virus. Naruto stared. That's impossible. The creature lifted its head. Red eyes focused on Naruto. Then it smiled. A human smile. You. Everyone froze. The infected pointed toward Naruto. The Nine Tails. Tsunade immediately stepped forward. What do you know? The creature began laughing. Not a zombie growl. Real laughter. Ha ha ha. Then its body suddenly convulsed. Bones cracked. Muscles expanded. The room shook. Naruto's eyes widened. Oh no. Crash. The creature exploded through its restraints. Its body doubled in size. Claws erupted from its fingers. Its jaw split apart. Shizune screamed. Get back. The monster roared. RAAAAAAAAAAAHHH. Windows shattered. Naruto instantly created shadow clones. Protect everyone. The alpha zombie charged. One punch sent 3 clones flying through a wall. Naruto cursed. It's stronger than a Jonin. Tsunade cracked her knuckles. Good. The monster turned toward her. Big mistake. Boom. Tsunade's fist connected. The entire hospital wing shook. The alpha flew through 3 floors. Dust filled the air. Naruto stared. Still terrifying. You're welcome. The alpha emerged from the rubble. Barely injured. Tsunade's confidence faded. That had never happened before. Naruto noticed. Tsunade. I know. The monster was evolving. Fast. Too fast. The alpha lunged. Naruto and Tsunade moved simultaneously. Like they'd trained together for years. Rasengan. Super strength. Impact after impact. The battle destroyed half the district. Finally Naruto activated a partial Nine Tails cloak. Red chakra erupted around him. The alpha hesitated. Almost afraid. Naruto smiled. Now it's my turn. The final Rasengan hit like a meteor. Boom. The alpha zombie disintegrated. Silence followed. Everyone stared. Naruto dropped to one knee. Breathing heavily. Tsunade immediately helped him stand. You okay? Naruto nodded. Barely. For a brief moment their eyes met. Neither looked away. Then Shizune cleared her throat. Very loudly. Both immediately stepped apart. Right. Yep. Work to do. Shizune smirked. As dawn approached, the village seemed calm. Too calm. Then an Anbu messenger arrived. Covered in blood, he collapsed at Tsunade's feet. Hokage-sama. What happened? The Anbu struggled to breathe. The neighboring villages. Naruto felt a chill. What about them? The Anbu looked up. Terror filled his eyes. They're gone. Everyone froze. All of them. The world suddenly felt much bigger. And much more dangerous. Because the apocalypse wasn't just in Konoha. It was everywhere. Far beyond the horizon. Millions were already infected. And somewhere in the darkness, something stronger than the alpha zombie was watching Naruto. Learning. Waiting. Smiling. Ah. The scream echoed through the forest. Naruto immediately turned toward the sound. Someone's alive. Tsunade grabbed his arm before he could run. Wait. Naruto frowned. What? Listen. The scream came again. Exactly the same. The same pitch. The same pause. The same fear. Ah. Naruto's eyes narrowed. That's not normal. No. Tsunade said quietly. It's repeating. The forest suddenly became silent. No wind. No animals. Nothing. Then a voice whispered from the darkness. Naruto. Naruto froze. He knew that voice. Impossible. Iruka-sensei. The voice came again. Naruto. Tsunade immediately stepped in front of him. That's not him. A low laugh echoed through the trees. Ha 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 ha. Branches snapped all around them. Crunch. 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 Something large was moving. Very large. The rescue team gathered closer together. One of the Chunin swallowed nervously. I don't like this. Nobody did. The darkness felt alive. Watching. Waiting. Then lightning flashed across the sky. For a split second, Naruto saw dozens of figures standing between the trees. Motionless. Their eyes glowing red. When darkness returned, they were gone. What the hell was that? One shinobi whispered. No one answered. Another scream exploded nearby. Help me. The same scream from the radio. The same man. The same terror. Yet it sounded too perfect. Too clean. As if someone were imitating it. Naruto formed a Rasengan. Blue light illuminated the forest. Tsunade. I know. The shadows moved. Fast. Something darted between the trees. Then another. Then another. None of them attacked. They simply circled. Like predators. Suddenly a terrified shinobi pointed into the darkness. There. Everyone looked. A tall figure stood among the trees. Human-shaped. Completely still. Rain poured over its body. Its face couldn't be seen. Naruto took a step forward. Who are you? The figure didn't move. Didn't breathe. Didn't answer. Then its head slowly tilted. A grin appeared. Far too wide to be human. Several shinobi backed away. The thing spoke. Its voice sounded wrong. Like many voices talking together. Naruto Uzumaki. A chill ran through everyone's body. The creature knew him. Naruto tightened his grip on the Rasengan. What are you? The thing laughed. Ha 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 ha. Then it vanished. Not ran. Not jumped. Vanished. The moment it disappeared, hundreds of red eyes opened throughout the forest. Every direction. Every tree. Every shadow. One frightened shinobi screamed. There's too many. The horde charged. Raahhhhh. Ah. Run. Naruto slammed his Rasengan into the ground. Boom. Trees exploded outward. Tsunade punched another group aside. Bodies flew through the rain. The battle instantly became chaos. Screams. Growls. Explosions. Blood. Lightning. Thunder. And through it all, Naruto could still hear that intelligent creature laughing somewhere in the darkness. Watching. Learning. Waiting for the perfect moment to strike. Naruto stared at the creature as the distant roar echoed across the horizon. The sound didn't stop. It grew louder. Deeper. As if something enormous was moving. The ground trembled beneath his feet. What is the king? Naruto demanded. The creature smiled. You will meet him soon. Naruto lunged forward. Not good enough. His fist shot toward the creature's face. But at the last second it vanished. Naruto's punch hit empty air. What? A sharp pain exploded across his back. Crash. Naruto was thrown through several trees. Wood splintered everywhere. He rolled across the mud before stopping. Damn. The creature was standing exactly where Naruto had been a second earlier. Still smiling. Still calm. As though the fight meant nothing to it. You are strong. Naruto slowly stood. Shut up. But not strong enough. Meanwhile, Tsunade and the others raced through the forest. Lightning illuminated the path ahead. Naruto. Tsunade shouted. No answer. Only thunder. Boom. Shizune looked worried. We're getting closer. Then they heard it. An explosion. The trees shook violently. Tsunade's expression darkened. Move. Everyone increased their speed. Back at the battlefield, Naruto created dozens of clones. Shadow clone jutsu. Poof. The forest filled with Narutos. The creature simply observed. No fear. No concern. Nothing. Attack. The clones charged. The creature moved. For a moment Naruto couldn't even follow it. 1 second it stood still. The next. Crash. 5 clones exploded into smoke. Then 10. Then 20. Impossible. The creature wasn't just strong. It was faster than most Jonin. Perhaps faster than Naruto himself. Within seconds every clone vanished. Poof, poof, poof. The forest became silent once again. The creature brushed dirt from its shoulder. Boring. Naruto gritted his teeth. That single word irritated him more than the attack. Suddenly another roar echoed across the mountains. This time much closer. R-A-A-A-A-A-A-A-A-A-H-H-H-H-H. Every zombie in the forest froze. Then they dropped to one knee. Thousands of them, as if bowing. Naruto's eyes widened. There, obeying something, the creature turned toward the distant mountains. Its smile grew wider. He calls. The zombies began moving, not toward Naruto, away from him, all heading in the same direction. Like an army answering its king. The sight was terrifying. An endless river of infected disappearing into the darkness. Tsunade finally reached the battlefield. Naruto. Relief flashed across her face. Then she saw the creature. Her expression changed instantly. What the hell is that? The creature looked at her. For the first time its smile faded. Tsunade Senju. Naruto noticed something. The creature recognized her immediately. Just as it had recognized him. That couldn't be a coincidence. You know who we are, Tsunade said. The creature remained silent. Then it took a step back. The king is waiting. Naruto prepared another Rasengan. You're not leaving. The creature laughed. You still don't understand. Dark red veins suddenly appeared across its body. Its eyes glowed brighter. For a brief moment, the air itself seemed to vibrate. Then it whispered. The apocalypse has only begun. A massive explosion erupted from the mountains. Boom. A pillar of red light shot into the clouds. The sky turned crimson. Everyone stared in horror. Even Tsunade looked shaken. The creature smiled one final time. Then disappeared into the darkness. Gone. Without a trace. Silence fell. Naruto looked toward the distant mountains. Something was there. Something powerful. Something that made even intelligent zombies obey. And somewhere within that red light, the king was waiting for him. So guys, that's where part 1 comes to an end. If you want to see what happens next when Naruto faces the zombie king and the apocalypse gets even darker, drop a part 2 inches and don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next chapter of this Naruto zombie apocalypse.